Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to our first quarter moon pick-a-pile reading. I love the first quarter moon. It's the first big moon cycle, so to speak, after the new moon. Whenever you watch this, it's timeless, of course. But in real time for me, it is December 11th, 2021, and it is the first quarter moon. And first quarter moons are all about action, taking action. Because in the new moon, we set our intentions, we're ready for the new beginning. Then during that time, we kind of take that time to, put our attention and our energy there to like what we need. In fact, I'm going to read from this book, and it says it's about setting intentions, right? But now we're in the taking action phase. We're in the taking action phase, which means that we need to, everything that we set into motion for the new moon, now it's time for us to put that energy in place and do something about it. But sometimes we're not sure exactly what it is we need to do. So right before you hear our 4 piles, we have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. If you are familiar with this deck, then you know what the words are underneath. Otherwise, Spirit wasn't concerned about that. Even though you can kind of see the word over here, that's okay, because we can see in front of us that yes, that is an angel. It's also number 48. So if you're going by numerology, the pile number 1 is 48. Pile number 2, 25. Pile number 3, 12. And pile number 4, 11. So without any further ado, I'm going to give you, I'm going to kind of go a little bit darker, just a little bit, to let you really look at those images for a minute. Maybe there's more than one pile that's calling to you. Okay. That's one of the first times they ever had me like just be still and quiet for a minute while you chose your pile. Okay, you guys, I'll see you over at your piles. Until then, all of my information is below in the description box. And I will see you at your pile. Until then, blessed be. Oh, bye. Love you. Welcome, pile number 1. You chose the Angel of Balance, number 48. So let's see if there's any messages that want to come through right away. So, this is all about what do I need to do? What actions do I need to take? So right out the gate, it's right in front of us. Balance. Bringing some balance back into your life. It's interesting because I feel like I can't get the lighting to be balanced today. I don't know what's going on. I'm having one of those days that like really awesome things are happening, but I'm also having like a day where like a lot of challenging things are happening. But because I'm having an awesome day, when the challenging things are coming my way, I'm laughing at them a little bit more than recent weeks and months. Definitely through this last eclipse. Whenever you watch this, it's timeless. But we just came out of another eclipse season until next year, and so I was like just getting so angry at everything, and I was just like, what is going on with me? So what I realized was that I was way out of balance. So if that's something that you've been going through as well, it's time to, go inward and seek out, like find out like what's going on there. Also, we're going to pull some other cards. Oh, that's interesting. Hold on one second. So I haven't read the book on this in a while, and they're not having me read the book so much because it's kind of self-explanatory, but they do want me to bring in the affirmation. And so let me get in here so you can take a screenshot and work with this. This is the affirmation that Spirit wants you to work with. I open my mind and heart to my own inner wisdom. I am thoughtful, focused, and clear. Say this at least 3 times. Write it on a Post-it, write it somewhere that you're, going to see it. But when we get these messages from Spirit, the affirmations are really important. I forgot they had these in this book. So I open my mind and heart to my own inner wisdom. I am thoughtful, focused, and clear, right? Which means when you say this to yourself over and over, you realize that you are balanced, right? We're only out of balance when we're out of control. And most of the time when we're out of control is because we're trying to control everything. So my sweet angels of balance, you're not alone here. That's what Spirit wants to say. Like, you are not alone here. This is a tough one for everybody, for all the light workers right now. And also, number 48 is also the number 12, which goes down to the number 3. So if that means anything to you, you know, some people like to work with the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, like the Trinity, that kind of thing. But there's so many things that, you know, the triple spiral, you know, if that resonates with you, you know, look up the triple spiral. Oh, did you just see that? What the heck was that? Did you guys just see that? I don't know if it's going to be on camera, but something just flew right in front of the card. That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you, fairies. Thank you, angels. Oh, that's wonderful. So yeah, that's the vibe I get from you guys, that you're angels, which is probably why you're feeling so out of balance, right? Because if you're not feeling the love, you're not feeling the love. And that's really hard. Let's see, let's get some clarifiers here, Spirit. Oh, look at this. It's the World card and it's upside down. This card's always been such an interesting one to me. It's been a while since I read these cards. This is the Energy Oracle deck. But look at, do you see how this person is, you know, it's androgynous, right? Like, you can't tell from the back there what they look like or who they are. But there's also an ominous feeling about it. And interesting that we were just talking about the first quarter moon. Look at that picture. It's like, it's interesting too, because it seems like the earth side is more like light and bright, right? And it seems like the shadow isn't, it's not perfectly half. And if it is, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like the light's taking over the shadow. So I feel for like some of you guys, you're just coming out of the darkness. That's what Spirit's saying. Like, you're literally coming out of the darkness right now. And the world will be waiting when you're ready, which is why I was going to try and move the lights, but they like to work with the lights in these pictures, which is so awesome, right? Same with here, right? Like, they want to remind you that you are an angel. You're an earth angel. If you chose this pile, most likely you're an earth angel of some kind. An angel is just, you know, there's all different types of angels, and they come from the angel realm, but witches are angels, healers. I believe from my experience working with Spirit, the angel realm is, you know, where the healers come from, which is why a lot of us don't, like, we feel like we're not from here. You know, this doesn't feel like home to us, right? We feel out of balance because the energy on the planet is so severe. And if you're an empath, which I get the feeling you guys are, I almost feel like they want me to move you over somewhere. If you are an empath, then you're, oh, do you see that again? Then you're struggling. Now, I just have to tell you, it's really, really cold here. I live in the Pacific Northwest. So, I mean, I don't know where that came from. It could be a moth or something. But anyway, it's just really, really powerful. I feel like they're trying to talk to you, right? Like, this flying creature is trying to say to you, you know, you're used to having wings and being, see how this is almost like it's overexposed, right, from the flash, but they had me put this back here a little bit so you can see like the deeper colors of the angel. That's how they want you to start seeing yourself. Also, the World card is number 29, which is the number 11. So if you don't know about the number 11, I highly suggest that you go and research it on your own. Just you put in numerology 11, angel number 11, you can say spirit medicine number 11, whatever, because it's different for everybody. But that is definitely something for you to understand, like who you are and where you come from and who's supporting you. You have a massive support system right now, and you don't need to worry about the world. That's what they're trying to show you. See how the light is there? They're saying, you know, it's not like fuck the world. Of course not. You know, we can pray for everyone and set good intentions and all that stuff, but you need to focus on this because you are bringing the light in. It's your job to bring the light in. But do you see the difference between this beautiful light creature and then like this dark, ominous creature? And the fact that it's half and half and it's a first quarter moon, it's just trying to show you like you have to live in shadow. It's part of us. It's, or I should say, excuse me, you don't have to live in shadow, but like shadow is part of you. So maybe you feel like you've been in shadow and maybe it's time for you to pull yourself out. Some people haven't fully pulled themselves out of the eclipse energy, and that's okay, because this fucking year, the last few years hit us hard. So there's nothing wrong with you. It doesn't make you inferior, or it doesn't make someone a better light being or light worker or whatever terminology, just because, they're over here and you're feeling like this. And maybe you're feeling overexposed for a reason. Maybe you're giving too much of yourself. People are used to you being an angel, and Spirit's like, yeah, but you can't always be everything to everyone. I mean, look at this little precious gift they have here. And also, they're pointing out the pyramids. We three kings of Orient are, right? Bearing gifts, we travel so far. There's something going on with Christmas. And I feel like between, again, whenever you watch this, it's timeless. But tomorrow's the 12/12 portal. And that's really significant. So, and again, if you don't know about that, research that. But all of these things, the light is coming in and it's going to be pouring in over the next few weeks. We're all going to feel so good. We're going to feel like a high, because a lot of people really rely on the energy of Christmas to kind of give them that end of the year boost. But this year, it's like nobody's got it. Everybody's fucking fuel tanks are empty or really, really low, disturbingly low. And maybe, you're used to being a certain person, or by the way, Sprocket wanted to come in, Toad the Wet Sprocket. So maybe some of you frogs, like you have frog energy, but even see how Sprocket's looking up to the stars, like the white light. They're saying you got to ask for help. Your angel, your family, like they can't help you unless you ask for help. They literally like cannot help you unless you ask for help, unless it's something in your soul contract that's like a, hey, even if I don't ask for help, like make sure this happens because this happened. You know what I mean? Like everybody knows what has to happen in this big orchestra. So, but this was in reverse. So that just tells me that you're feeling really depleted and really tired, and you're feeling off balance. You don't feel like yourself. And they're saying, well, you're not alone, because it's happening everywhere. Look at this. But you've got adjacent possibilities. Maybe what you want to do isn't exactly in front of your face, but they're like, but what else is in front of you? Because this is about taking action. So what can you do to bring some balance back to your life? Maybe it's as simple as, maybe you used to work out and go to the gym, and now you're like, I don't really like going to the gym or whatever. But actually, the gym makes you feel good. Maybe you can find a place, maybe it's the gym you were going to, right? Like if you're a light worker, or if you found yourself here and you're just waking up and you're realizing you're a light worker, you can't just go to like any place, right? Because the energy is real. We're all made up of energy, even if people don't fully understand or express that in their daily lives, or recognize it. It's still there. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't matter. My mom used to always say, just because you don't believe in demons doesn't mean they don't believe in you. And that's the truth. So it's all that. You think that the darkness isn't coming for you right now. It is. But it's, how are you going to show up for the darkness? What kind of action are you going to take? Are you going to go into this like, woe is me, the world is attacking me? Or are you going to turn around and go, you know what? I'm going to utilize this fire energy, because right now we're still in the Sagittarius energy for at least another 2 weeks. So while what is it? No, less than 2 weeks. Until we go into Capricorn. But use this fire energy right now. And it doesn't, whenever you watch this, it doesn't have to be in Sagittarius, but utilize that fire energy to kind of light the fire under your butt. What do you love to do? There are so many possibilities. And again, adjacent just means that it's like, it's not right in front of you. It's just like, see how all of these windows are open? It's like there's one on the floor. They're on the, it's like, it's all in the way you look at it. What kind of possibilities are in front of you? And it may not be what you wanted it to be. By the way, these were both upside down, so I'm going to honor that. So we've got 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. I actually asked Gabriel to come in today, so thank you, Gabriel. You are amazing. I asked Gabriel to come in today to help us with our communication, and I think it's interesting that there he is, he's ready to, with the throat chakra, trying to help you speak your truth, help you communicate, because he's the Archangel of communication of the West, of water, if that means anything. It's also number 39, which is another 12, right? That's another 12, another 3. And then we've got 14, carrying connections, which is a 5, which is change and transformation. So Your adjacent let me see. Thanks, Toad. So let's get some of these in here. Caring connections. Okay, you want to go here? Let's do this. Because I feel like caring connections wants to come here. Oops. Caring connections. Adjacent possibilities. Okay, I'm not even going to put the other card in because I feel like for a minute they want us to kind of slow our roll. So just take a minute to look at that. Now, I love the Caring Connections card because even though it's representative of two people, and it could be a man and a woman, it could be two women, it could be two men, it doesn't matter. It's not about that. And it's not, also, it's caring connections, right? Like, it's not very sexual. It's more like they're gifting them something, they're giving them like a nice hug, you know, around the waist. So it's obviously someone who's really close to you. But I'm hearing like your adjacent possibilities are connected to somebody that's close to you, somebody that really cares about you, somebody, you know, and I'm hearing ask for help. If you're not sure what to do, ask for help. Or even say like, hey, you know, to your friends, if you have a group of friends that you guys like to powwow together, be like, hey, can we get together? I need to talk about some possibilities. I need to take some action in my life and I'm not sure 100% what it is. Can you guys help me out? And I'm hearing yes, 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 yes. Also, they're asking me to grab the affirmation for number 14 for the caring connections. So if you want to take a screenshot of that, and they're having me put it next to the adjacent possibilities. Isn't that lovely? I open my heart and life to truly caring connections. The ideal friend and partner is coming to me now. Yes, I'm getting the vibe that you guys see how this angel is normally solo. Like this is what they're giving me. Like this is normally you, and you've got your eye on what you want, and your wings are high. You've got, you know, a little sliver of a moon over there. You've got the power of the Egyptians. You know, it's like you've got all of these things in front of you, but you're still out of balance. And they're saying because it takes two, right? It takes two, baby. It takes two, baby. Me and you. So it might just mean that, you know, it's time for you to stop trying to do something on your own. Or if you've been thinking about going into business or even a relationship, because I'm hearing for some of you, there's somebody in your life that you know that they want you, you know that they really, really want you, but they're not like your type or your typical person that you would date or have sex with or whatever. But they're saying, yeah, but you never know what kind of possibilities are going to come out of that relationship. You know, maybe you're somebody who always goes for the really good looking person. You know, it's funny. I saw this movie one time and he goes, you know why you have so many problems with her? And he's like, why? And he goes, because she's beautiful and she's got a perfect body, you know, perfect, quote unquote, right? And he's like, what is that supposed to mean? And he goes, it means that like you need an uglier woman who will care for you and take care of you. She's not so, he goes, she's so perfect. She doesn't have to. He's like, she knows that. She could be a better person. He goes, she chooses not to, but nobody cares because she's pretty. And it was so gross what he said, but it was so fucking true, sadly, at how the world is right now. I'm not saying it's not going to change. It's changing, but, you know, people are really, really shallow. And he's like, why do you think I've been with, you know, my wife for so many years? And he's like, she's pretty. And he's like, dude, she's not. He's like, but I think she's beautiful and I think she's sexy and I think she's amazing. And he goes, and she's the best woman for me. And she takes care of me and I take care, you know, and it was like the way he said everything. And you know, there's something to that. You know, it's not always about what somebody looks like, or maybe, you know, like I saw earlier, Zendaya is with, I forget the young actor, but it's a young actress couple and actors, and she's taller than him. And they were like, you know, we don't really think about it, you know, but people get so weird about that kind of stuff. And it's like, who fucking cares? You know, it's like, who cares? If you really like that person, who cares? Like, don't let what your friends, your family, or whatever, don't let anyone, if you love that person and they're good to you and you feel happy when you're with them, then that's your person. You know what I mean? And obviously, not all these messages are going to resonate for everybody. But let's get in here again and we'll talk about that. But they really wanted me to highlight that information. So I open my heart and life to truly caring connections. The ideal friend and partner is coming to me now. Okay, it's another really powerful Let's see, do we have any more clarifiers? Okay, these two wanted to come out together and they were upside down. So, ooh, interesting. So Gabriel wanted to go back into the pile, and door to romance, number 33. Isn't that interesting? Another 3. Now we have 2 3s together. So that means something too. It's also the number 6. So for some of you, that could, those things can mean something. But I'm also getting the vibe that this door to romance, this adjacent possibility, is going to be from you changing your perspective. Because once you look at that, look at how the spirit's next to your heart looking out for you, and under the romance too, right? Like they're saying, like, it's right there, it's right in front of you. Just reach out and grab it. Like it wants you, but you're keeping your heart in a cage because you're used to getting hurt as a really powerful empath, and your feelings, like people just like trample all over you, and you're like, fuck, like it hurts, right? Like it hurts when people trample on our heart and don't have any respect, for our feelings. But it's like you can look at that as the door opening or the door closing. You can look at that as a bureau. I like that it's like a piece of furniture, right? Or you can look at it as a dimension, a gateway. Maybe it's time to go down a different road of romance. I just had something very similar like that happen with my partner today, where I was like, wow, we were looking at it one way, and I'm like, but what if we, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden I was like, wow. And I didn't have any stress about it anymore. I wasn't thinking about it anymore. I felt really good. And I realized, because that's what we need, is communication. Communicating with each other is such a huge deal, right? This was one of the 12s because we had 48. And interestingly enough, that we have, oh, thanks, Toad. He's so great. He's like, you can put it by me. He's like, I'll hang out with Archangel Gabriel anytime. But do you see how we've got Archangel Gabriel and you, the angel of balance? It's like he's trying to show you, by opening up your throat chakra, by speaking your truth, by saying what you need, what you want. That's how your caring connection is going to, work in your favor. Because I feel like for some of you guys, the reason why it's not working out right now, and this isn't for everybody, this is, you'll know who you are. The reason why it's not working out right now is because you're still over here with your heart in a cage. But this is where Spirit wants you to be. And accepting the gifts that someone's trying to bring to you. Now look at this. Look at how these were. So the world card came back in. Then we've got a man holding a coin, number 43. And then we've got rest and rejuvenation, but in reverse. So, this could be, it doesn't have to be, whether you're a man or a woman, quote, quote. This is just a very strong masculine energy. So some type of masculine energy has got a hold of your money. So either that's somebody in your life that you've given way too much power to, and that's why that doesn't feel like a caring connection, right? Because you feel like you're being controlled. Well, that would make sense why you're having these issues with your own control, because if somebody else is controlling you or controlling your money, that feels really stressful. That's why you're out of balance, right? And 19 is also the number, if you add it together, as 10, which is about completions and new beginnings. And we just talked about that from the new moon. Now it's time to take action. Whatever you set into place in this last new moon, it's time for you to take action. But you need to meditate on it for a while and get some rest and rejuvenation. You're not ready to get back out there yet, right? Speak your truth, right? Gabriel's saying speak your truth, but you're not ready to get back out there, right? That's why the world card, that's why these all just fell, because you need to take a break from the world for a while. From this person, from the world, like you really need to take a break. And I mean, I'm getting that so strongly, like that's the number one thing. So I know it sounds silly, right? Like take action, go take a break. But sometimes that's exactly the action that we need to take, is to slow down and take a break. I'm about to take a vacation myself and go off grid for my 50th birthday in a few days. And it feels almost like bizarre in a way, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, we're like really taking a break. Like we're really going to, turn everything off and like go celebrate, but it's has to be done. We have to take care of ourselves. So this is your last card, my friends. The adjacent possibilities. I know that we went through that already, but they wanted to show you because they want you to look at it from a different perspective. Because it's time you start looking at the world from a different perspective, your relationships from a different perspective. Everything, it's time for you to start looking at everything from a different perspective. Rise above. If you're having a hard time with that, then I highly suggest that you research eagle spirit animal, because the eagle spirit animal is really awesome in helping us achieve that goal. Okay, you guys, I hope these messages helped you in any way. I love you so much. All of my information is below in the description, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Welcome, pile number 2. If you chose this pile, you chose deceit. And the number 25, which is also the number 7. I had so many hits on this card. I had so many hits. When I originally set this up, I was just showing the back of the cards. Oops, we'll get to that. I had them like that, and then Spirit said, no, you need to put one card for each one. And this one, I got so many different things. So before we jump into it, I'm actually going to pull another card to go with it, because I could feel that she wanted to come, or I could feel that an energy wanted to come in. So thank you, Ariel. So second chakra, which is our sacral chakra. This is the Archangel Ariel. So Ariel wanted to come in and talk to you guys about the second chakra. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to come over here, because I feel like this is, at least for the last pile, this was the angel corner. Okay, let's come over here. I feel like Ariel wants to be over here, not to make you, it's not about feeling bad, or, you know what I mean? It's just more of like I feel like we got to get down to some serious business and certain things that have to change in order for you to take action. So it's also number 36, which is the number 9. And each one of these in the book has an affirmation. And this is the one, this is the one that they wanted you to see. Okay. So now, affirmations are good if you keep repeating them. And I find that it's best to keep repeating them until they kind of sink in. For instance, and you may want to take a screenshot of this so you have it. So it says, my second chakra is open to its perfect, healthy state. Hold on, let me get in there. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get you guys. Okay. I am creative and self-nurturing, more and more comfortable with the gentle waves of intimacy coming my way. It's also on page 116. So that comes out to the number 8, which is interesting, because we had 7 and 9, and this is 8. So it's like 7, 8, 9. It's like, I feel like you're 2 steps forward and then 2 steps back, 2 steps forward and then 2 steps back. So keep repeating this affirmation to yourself. Put it on a Post-it, whatever you need to do, screenshot it on your phone. My second chakra is open to its perfect, healthy state. I am creative and self-nurturing, more and more comfortable with the gentle waves of intimacy coming my way. And Ariel is asking me to read a little bit from the book. So this says, the second chakra vibrates in the energy of the beautiful angel Ariel. She sends a bright orange energy promoting inspired creativity and greater comfort with intimacy. When this card appears upright, it's urging you to get creative. Let yourself reach out into unexplored areas of self-expression and new projects that may have a more creative approach. This is also a time when the energies of closeness with others and nurturing yourself can flow more freely. You can now open yourself to the emotional intimacy that may be coming your way. So nurture yourself and be ready to receive the affirmation and camaraderie of the resonant souls around you. Now, it didn't come out in reverse, but it's saying when this card is reversed, you may find that your creativity is being blocked. If this is the case, you might need to take more risks and open up to the new and different ideas. Go inward to find the feelings that may be causing this blockage. Call upon Ariel to help you release old fears and self-limitations. Affirm that you are open to Spirit's love and creative inspiration. This card reverse can also signal problems with intimacy of all kinds and issues of sexual intimacy in particular. Visual Ariel spinning a beautiful light in your second chakra, calming and healing the energy there. Know that real closeness can be both safe and comfortable for you, and that you deserve a depth of sharing in your relationships. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, so Oh gosh, they're still having me wait. Okay, hold on. I was like, there's because so many things came through, but there's like, I guess it's, well, it's your breadcrumbs, right? So I'm just here to, so interesting that this is in reverse, and this is the garden and the gate, and it's number 30. The garden and the gate. Now, look at this card. She's outside the gate. She's unsure, right? She's just like, well, I want to go in there. Like, it looks fun. There's butterflies and it's beautiful rolling hills, but maybe I shouldn't go in there. Or is it that she's in her gate? This is her yard, and that's the outside world, right? So in order for you to be able to follow your dreams and your fantasies and take action, you need to step out of your comfort zone. And maybe for some of you, it's time to go into a brand new world, a brand new place, whether that's in your mind, whether that's actually in person, whatever it is. But I'm just hearing like it's time for you guys to go somewhere brand new. And I don't know if it's like traveling so much as it's like just like with your art and like who you are. Interesting. Oh, I love 17 is in reverse though. I love that this is this whole thing is about taking action. And it's like right after that, the 2 horses. And also, if you're drawn to any other piles, I highly recommend you watch them. We were talking about balance in the left pile, and I think this is interesting. We were talking about shadow and light, right? And that's kind of what this is too, because I feel like, now I had a lot of things I wanted to talk to you about with the deceit card, but for this one in particular, it's almost like they had me put that card right there. It's like, there you are in your garden, and you start to take action, but I get this vibe that like the deceit part is you put on a mask. You become somebody else for everybody else instead of like being in your power and like nurturing your gifts and your art that makes you feel good. Like, maybe you used to do something with your art and you didn't make any money doing it. So you stopped doing it because you're like, well, why would I, do that again? And Spirit's saying it's time to revisit something old, something you used to do. Another one that's in reverse, the sun, which is number 1. They're kind of having me go fast with these with you guys because I feel like there's multiple messages in here for a lot of you guys. And I always think of this goddess as a mermaid, but you can think of it any way you want. But there's like a little baby in here. There's a cage down here. There's a horn over here. There's a squid over here. There's a book over here. So it's like, I feel like, it's like there's the sun shining bright on you. And you have all these opportunities, like squid provides ink, right? You've got pages you can write in. Maybe you're a writer. There's something going on here with this baby though. And I feel like it's really personal for you guys. But this cage feels the same as these bars that are holding her back in the garden at the gate. And that's why Ariel's saying you need to work with your sacral chakra, your second chakra, which is the orange. So work with orange energy. I feel like she wants to be over here. Work with the color orange also, like to kind of spark your interest with your creative juices again. I'm getting that vibe from Spirit. Because in order for you to get out of this, you have to take action. But there's something holding you back. Also, I'm seeing money. See how they're like playing with money? It's like somehow you've deceived yourself into believing that you need money to make art, or you need money or support from somebody. And they're like, you really don't though. I mean, there are just so many possibilities. I had a friend recently, one of our tribe members actually, that was thinking about making cards, some type of oracle cards or whatever. And I was like, you can make those yourself. And I had just seen from this one reader, and you know what I mean? And they're like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. It's like, there are so many things out there now. So research again, start looking for different possibilities, or ask, your friends, family, people that you trust for help. This one was upright. Look at this. Number 42, woman holding a coin. So they're saying like, you got this. You're thinking of it too literally, and you're allowing the deceit to hold you back. Also, I'm hearing for some of you, that's number 42, which is also number 6. So now we've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 3. It's like it's almost like you got them all, but you're just missing a few pieces, right? You're missing a few numbers to complete a 10, to complete like a set of 10, right? Let's see if there's any more, because there's definitely more cards in here. Because I feel like we're on like a little, anxiety number 18, and it's in reverse. That's interesting. They actually want me to go into the book. Also, look at, again, being held in. There's like a storm outside, right? It was in reverse. They want me to read this, but again, there they are, right? Like the light is right here. All they need to do is open their mouth or use their hands. I'm definitely feeling like it's something with your hands, whether it's painting, all of the above, I kind of feel like you guys are just artists. Like there's pretty much, you're probably good at a lot of different things. Like that's the energy I'm getting from Spirit, is it's like you're good at a lot of different things. But you're just not we're sure where to start. And they're like, well, start where it makes you, like where you feel good, what makes you happy. So 18, worry or distressed. And since it was in reverse, I'm going to read the reverse first. It says, finally, relief. Hold on, let's get in here. Finally, relief. The nightmare of a card reverse could mean one of two things. Either a recent problem is on its way out, causing you to feel more relaxed, or you have mastered the old habit of worrying and have freed yourself from the anxiety within. Well, that's good. Either way, anxiety reversed is a good omen of more relaxed and peaceful times to come. Maintain a trusting attitude and let the difficulties and fear thoughts fade away into the distance. Okay, and the affirmation, all this is the energy oracle deck, and all of the cards have affirmations, and some they've had me pull and some not. So this one says, I let go of fear and worry. I assume the best and live in peace. All is well. And affirmations, the more you say them, the more you see them, the more they become real for you, right? So they say anything you do every day for 30 days becomes habit. So if you, even every day before you go to bed and in the morning after you wake up, say, I let go of fear and worry. I assume the best and live in peace. All is well. You'll be amazed how fast your anxiety is going to shift. Because I know that you guys have anxiety, right? Like I know you guys worry too much, because I feel like this, because whenever I see this one, it's like, in some ways it feels really good, right? Like that she's got everything she could possibly need, but at the same time she's gripped on pretty tightly to that, right? It's not like laying next to her. It's not on her lap. She's holding it up. She's being very showy, right? She's like, look at me, look at me, look at me. But over here, I feel like you're too worried about what everybody is going to think of you, because maybe this is how they see you. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, right? It's like, it's just that energy, that strong feminine energy. Like you feel that. And look at the cat too. Even the cat's like eyes are fixated on the coin. It's time to let go of that, because that's the deceit that's holding you back, right? The money, the money, the money, the money, the money, instead of the art, the art, the art, the art, the art, right? Like you've got all of these possibilities. Also, water is about emotions. So, I'm hearing it's good for you guys to create, like when you're feeling anxiety, like put some music on, or put something on that makes you feel really good and makes you feel happy, because they're saying that's spirit trying to talk to you, when you get into that happy place. But if you stay in the deep anger and the anxiety, or if you're holding on to your money too tightly, you're not gonna find out what you're looking for. So when you're in your emotional body, if you're in your emotional body too much when you're making decisions, that's why you're feeling anxiety and your money, right? It's like almost like you're repelling the money from you, right? Instead of letting it come to you. And they're saying also, for some of you, you really do well. Like when you're crying or something, like maybe you watch a movie, like, and then you'll write something really profound, and they're like, use that energy, use it. Don't run away from it. Ooh, what is this? Appreciation, number 15, but it was in reverse, right? Appreciation. But it was in reverse. Look at that. Again, she's got everything. Look at her outfit. This beautiful, perfect rose, whatever perfect means, but right? Like, as we see, perfect is like this beautiful flower. Everything's perfect. Again, again, again. This is really about ego. That's why you're having a hard time taking action, because you're not having enough appreciation for what you do have. There are, it's one of those things. There's always going to be people who have more than you, and there's always going to be people who have less than you. They're asking me to bring in the affirmation for this one. I can totally understand that. That's a good one. And they're not doing this to like give you a scolding or whatever. It's tough love in a good way. Like they're trying to show you, how to utilize your energy. Okay, so I want to get this in here so you guys can get a screenshot. Okay, I choose to see and appreciate the beauty and value around me. I increase my gratitude every day, and I am attracting even more to be grateful for. I choose to see and appreciate the beauty and value around me. I increase my gratitude every day, and I am attracting even more to be grateful for. So they had me say this to you because it's true. Now, I don't like to push like going to the dollar store, things like that, but sometimes you're just in a really rough spot, right? And you don't have the money to go out and buy something that maybe you would want to buy. So Spirit's saying, even if you take $5 and go to the dollar store and buy yourself a few things to cheer you up. Maybe you need to, I know for myself, like I've just been not feeling like Christmas this year or Yule, like none of it, like it's not like me. It's December 11th and I haven't even really put anything up for Christmas except for this beautiful sign that my beloved made me 2 years ago. Yeah, it's interesting. That's so not like me. I'm actually, taking a vacation in a few days for my birthday. And I was like, I need to get my mojo back, so I feel you. A lot of us are feeling a really emotionally drained. I'm an artist myself. And I've also been dealing with the abundance issues. And most of that comes from a lack mentality of our childhood or something that affected, or maybe you have money, but like your parents worked really hard for it and they never let you forget it. There's just so much programming that happens when we're children that this anxiety comes from somewhere. It just didn't come out of nowhere. It manifested itself into your life for a reason so that you can, it's not a bad thing to have like these quote unquote negative ailments or whatever, because they help us become who we are. But at the same time, we can't let them, rule our thinking or let our family or our friends or society dictate what is good for us. Be grateful for what you have. I did that. I went to the dollar store. I got a few different things, and I found these bags, these beautiful glittery bags with snowflakes on them. I've been kind of having an aversion to like Santa Claus things. I've always been addicted to snowmen. I don't even like have snowmen out this year. It's just like I'm changing, and I'm realizing that's okay. But I like the glittery snowflakes, just like there's like glittery on this scarf that I'm using, like I like the glitter and the glitz of it, but I'm realizing that I don't have to fall into a pattern or a kind of a placement of like who I used to be, right? So don't get so tied up in the past. It's time for you to move forward. Ooh, look at this. Number 44, which is also number 8. Woman holding a heart. Another card that I love that's so androgynous and beautiful. So look at all those hearts there. So there's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 hearts. That makes sense because there's 8. And then we've got the butterfly, which is all about change and transformation, right? But look at how beautiful this person is. And yeah, they've got a lot of stuff around them, but it's not super fancy. It's fancy, but it's not, you know what I mean? Or maybe it is. Like maybe, I like how that was on the third eye. So that's a message for some of you. But you know what I'm saying? It's like they're not dressed in like these gowns. It's more like they're almost like naked. And they're like covering themselves, but they're still beautiful just the way they are. Maybe you need to go get yourself like a $10 box color. Try and stay away from chemicals if you can. My little input. But maybe you need to just dye your hair purple or do something like have an appreciation, get out of the anxiety zone and just come from love. Love has been on the menu. Love and karma have been huge on the menu for not just our tribe, but just for the collective. And Spirit's, showing us like what comes around goes around. And unfortunately, in some aspects right now, it's hitting people really hard and they're not trying to punish it. We're not being punished. It's our own shit that we did to ourselves. But it's so easy to be like, oh, why is the world punishing me? Why isn't this happening? By the way, I'm making fun of myself because that was me a few days ago because I just want to go away. We're going to have enough money to go away. And I realized whenever, I'm super patient, I'm super positive, everything's great until it gets really close to something where I'm like, I would have booked my trip by now. This is crazy, man. My birthday's a few days away. We don't have any money to go. And I was like falling into this crazy thing. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my husband got a job that was like a 2-day job. And I'm like, oh my God, that's going to pay for it, or at least we'll be able to go somewhere with that amount. And so I was like, wow. And I got myself all freaked out and we still haven't booked a place yet. But I said to him, I don't even care anymore. Now I just feel safe knowing that we can jump in the car and, but that was going to happen anyway. But I let myself get all worked up about it, right? I deceived myself. And for some of you, I definitely feel like someone's doing that to you, whether you're doing it to yourself or somebody else is doing it to you. There's definitely somebody who is deceitful in your life. And I just saw a flame behind you and it's somebody I just heard from Spirit. I know this sucks to hear sometimes, but I just heard from Spirit and it's somebody who you think is really spiritual. you know, or they say like they're spiritual, whatever, but they're not behaving spiritually. So they're saying, be mindful of wolves in sheep's clothing. So here's our affirmation for the woman holding a heart. And I'll put it right next to it so you can take a screenshot. Okay, I am emotionally calm and peaceful, and I attract healthy and stable people to me. So see what I said about the deceit? There's a reason for that. And you're holding on to your heart because you've been hurt before. And you're somebody who's just a giver, a giver, a giver, a giver. And now you're in this place where you're like, wait, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to me? And they're saying, you don't need to worry about that. You know, just stay in the positive bubble, right? And they're almost putting a heart around it. It's also it's also 142, which is the number 7. So if that means anything to anybody. I am emotionally calm and peaceful, and I attract healthy and stable people to me. Keep saying it over and over and over. I'm telling you, 30 days straight. They're having me put these. Oh, okay. Forget it. I thought they were having me do something else. Hostilities. Ooh, look at that. Number 26, which is also the number 8. Another 8. They're having me put this over here by the sun. It's almost like there's like hostileness around your art. So but it's almost like you're protecting it. It's because they asked me to put it in front of this card, the sun, which was like making me think of the art. But there's something here. Also, it's a sword. So swords represent air signs in tarot. So if you have an air sign in your family, sorry, I just dropped a bunch of cards. Hold on one second. Okay, and the air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Okay, so these both just fell on the floor, and look at this. Oh my gosh. So number 23 is all tied up. And look at that. I mean, seriously, it's like you're all bound up. And again, you look, right? It's like you're all dressed up and everything, but it's like you're holding back. You're over here with this hostilities card. I feel like this wants to go over here. All tied up. Oh my God, I just heard all tied up and nowhere to go, right? Like she's all dressed up and nowhere to go. And I also feel like a princess, or I feel like you are so much bigger and better and like above like this energy. Because I don't want to say person, because it's even if it's a person, it's the energy that they're putting out. It's not necessarily them. You know what I mean? So I'm hearing like the only person who can free you is you. And that's why this happy family is in reverse, number 4, because I feel like you're trying to attain this. It's like, this is what you want. And it doesn't necessarily have to be kids, whatever. It could just be with another person or animals. Doesn't matter. But family can be community. It can mean a lot of different things. But I'm hearing like you want this, but yet like you're still in this kind of energy. And you're like, why isn't this happening? And they're like, because you have to go and snip those cords around you and free yourself, right? With your sword. You have a sword. It's like, look at it. On one side, you're like this, and one side like that. I'm also feeling like when somebody is deceitful to you, and I get this because I'm a human bullshit barometer myself. But when someone's being deceitful, like right to your face, it's like you just can't. You're just like, I can't. And then here you are looking all like. And also, I wanted to say this before, and they're giving the green light now. I'm also getting the reason why this person looks so drained in the deceit is because that's you. Because you keep giving and giving and giving. And maybe you are the one giving the money to someone, or you're giving your money to like some type of spiritual thing or like a group or something. And they're like, it is not for you. It is not for you. Right? I'm watching this thing right now about this cult. And, you know, it doesn't feel like a cult when you're in it, right? If it feels, because in the beginning, a lot of times certain energy, look at this, by the way, look at how spirit has their hands over like the money, right? Because they're trying to show you like, it's not about this. You're worrying too much about the coin and not about the art part of it. You're like, how am I going to make money from it? They're like, don't worry about how you're going to make money. Just do what you're going to do. Because if you're wrapped up in this, like, oh, people just want something from me, there's, you know, whatever, then you're putting that out into the world and you're holding your heart, you're holding your money. You're like, hey, look at this. But they're like, is it for sale? You're like, no, I'm not going to sell it. And people are like, why aren't you selling it? You're like, no, I'm not going to sell it. And they're like, it's almost like, I feel like you're up. Now some message is going to be for some of you and it's not for everybody, right? But I just kind of feel like this up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And it's like, one minute you're like open, the next minute, you're not. And they're saying it's almost like you have to decide, because I'm getting the vibe that whoever these people are or person that's in your life, you're the only one that can cut that cord from them, because once you do, this will be your end result, the happy family. And also I'm getting, look at that. I was about to move the card. Do you see how the light's like over that? They're saying, what's wrong with it just being you and your kids? Like, you don't need to have a significant other to complete you. And for some of you, it's like, you don't want to break up this happy family, and Spirit's saying, yeah, but like it's kind of in shadow, right? They're like, is it though? Is it a happy family? Because a happy family requires two people putting in the same amount of work. And the vibe that I'm getting from Spirit is that it is off balance and you are not. So, okay. So your affirmation is, abundant wealth blossoms all around me. I see the value in my everyday life. Abundant wealth blossoms all around me. I see the value in my everyday life. Okay, that's all I got for you, pile number 2. Thank you so much for being here. All of my information is in the description below, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Aho. Bye. Love you. Welcome, pile number 3. You chose number 12, the Temple Path. So that is pretty powerful. I was wondering how we're going to do this, but we have the Angel of Love, but it was in reverse. It's number 49, which is also the number 13. Kind of interesting because it's 1213, which, not to keep plugging my birthday, but that's my birthday. Whenever you watch this, it's timeless, but that's so cute. So thank you, Spirit. I wonder if this is my pile. Anyway, Angel of Love. And did you notice how they had me put it right there? And the Angel of Love is actually looking down, looking a little forlorn, and walking away from the temple path. And the vibe I'm getting from Spirit is, it's time for you to start walking towards the temple path. Now listen, I want to talk about the temple path before we even go into the book. I haven't read these cards in a long time. I don't remember what's in the book, but the vibe I'm getting from Spirit is that, and the message I received today myself personally, is that all of our paths, not only are they different, but they look different. And we are meant to change and grow and evolve. And sometimes, for instance, like I have, throughout my life, I'm 49, but throughout my life, I have been a lot of different people in terms of the way I dressed, the way I looked, my friends, I've tried a lot of different things. I've gone different ways to say, does this work for me? Does that work for me? And then when I started working as a light worker and as a medium, I kept wanting to go more towards like this very quote unquote like pure type of living, and not be the rebel and outcast, wild, big mouthed person that I was. But I'm a triple Sag and my moon's in Scorpio, so it's kind of like that's who I am. And I feel like if we stop fighting who we are, and I highly recommend, I think it's cafeastrology.com. If I remember, I'll put the link below. Otherwise, just research it on your own. But it's easy to find your a free birth chart. But find out, like, if you don't know already, find out like where your moon, your sun, your rising, your ascendant, like that kind of stuff is, it's really important. And once you start to recognize like who you are, it's like looking at your birth chart is like just a blueprint to like who you are basically, or getting to know yourself more, because a lot of us have actually been born into families and society that, tell us right away who we are. And labels are put on us, and projections of other people's, paths and their future and their past is put on us. So it's hard for us to lose our way from our path. So the temple path is whatever that means for you. If you're like, I don't know if you guys, I think her name, and I think she goes by she, is Lou Ridley. I stumbled upon them recently, and they wrote this country song called Hometown. Oh my gosh, comment below if you know who I'm talking about. First of all, they're fucking amazing. I love them so much. They're calling her the Lady Gaga of country. And I'm like, you know what? I know that everybody likes to put labels on, but I was like, there's another thing. That's literally what she's talking about as an artist, is that she's sick of the bullshit, of like these labels and stigmas. And at least that's what I got from it. I don't know if that's what their message was, but and then there they go, like putting a label and a stigma and a stereotype on her. But it's funny because she's not writing about like, I love my hometown and blah blah blah. She's like, I fucking hate my hometown, and what about that bitch who was mean to me, and what about that guy who fucking raped me that nobody talks about, like some serious shit. And that is exactly what we need right now. So if you're an angel of love, that's a little bit more of a rebel spirit, saying rebel, rebel, right? Like, be yourself, you diamond dog. Be yourself. Bowie's here, right? Like, Bowie's saying, like, you don't need to hide who you are. You don't have to, you are an angel. You're not crazy. You're not like everybody else, but you're over here and you're turning your back from your path, from your temple path, right? Like, you're going this way, and spirit's like, yeah, but they need you to be going towards the temple path, right? And I love how I didn't do this on purpose. This is when I love when spirit like throws shit. Like, I just happened to use this scarf today, and look at how it like matches with it. Didn't look like that with the other one. So I was like, that's just cool. And I want to put a little darker for a minute. I like the intimacy of the darker, because that's what it looks like. It's like nighttime and it's like lit up with lanterns. And maybe that's something you need. Maybe you just need something to kind of lighten up your world, to remind you that you have this fire in your belly, right? Like this fire. And maybe you are a fire sign. Maybe, you're an Aries, Leo, or Sag, and that's why you were brought here today. But you are definitely an angel. And if you are drawn to any other piles, I highly recommend you look at those piles as well, because I don't want to say too much, but there's some commonality. And, being an angel of love is also being an angel of mercy. But sometimes it's difficult when you're constantly being the one that, when I look down, it was 5544. So if you're drawn to that angel number, go